Hello, you're live with ArchieLuxury. Today we're discussing Rolex dogs. Woof, woof, fuckers, woof, woof. And I want to talk about dogs and future dogs and Rolex dogs. Woof, woof. Now, firstly, let me show you an IWC dog. This is the Ingenua, which you hate, don't you, Clyde? You hate it?
Well, I don't hate it as much as communism and Al-Qaeda.
Okay, that's a very good plus. It's the IWC Ingenua. Now, Clyde, I got to tell you, IWC is not the only brand that makes dogs. Rolex has their own number of lassies. The biggest lassie, I think, is the Polar Explorer 2. This is the dog of the moment. The dog! Woof, woof! That is... Now that's your Milgauss white dial. Why is white dial so unpopular? Is it now this? I can trace this. There was a stage when white dials were more popular than black dials. I was a member of the Turfers, the Ultimate Rolex Forum, and in the late 90s, there was the white dials were slightly more popular than the black. Then it started to turn. The blacks became more popular in Italy. The market turned. And then what happened is Panerai themselves, the Paneristes say that the white dial Panerais are terminal.
Right.
And it's then filtered in. The white dial Daytona or the black dial one. The black dial was always a little bit more. Then the Explorer 2, people thought the white dial was cool. Then it started to lose flavor. Tell me what you think. Is white dial such a bad choice? What do you think, Clyde?
No, it's not necessarily. I mean, good or bad, it's just a matter of preference. Apples or oranges. But you're saying it used to be white dials were cooler, and
Yes.
you remember those days. So you miss the days of white. So you miss the days of white supremacy.
White supremacy. White supremacy.
I think it's because most of the Rolex is very, very conservative, and they change about as gradually as continental drift. Most Rolex sports are really black dials, so white dials are almost too much of a variation. Now, I think at first they were cool because they're different, then they're not cool because they're different.
Now, Clyde, I got to tell you, in the watch market itself there, the white dials, I don't understand why they're starting to be very, very unpopular. Would you agree with me the dogs of the Rolex range is the Explorer 2? Is that the dog of the Steel Sports range?
Yeah, I would agree. I think the only exception, if they were still making the white Milgauss, I think the white Milgauss was a bigger dog. But then they quit making them, then everyone started snatching them up, sensing possible collectability. But overall, yeah. Overall, yeah, because, the Explorer 2 is kind of plain compared to the GMT. It's the same function, the same movement, but it doesn't have the, it's kind of like the plain sister of it's like the cheerleader's plain sister. You sleep with the slightly homely sister when you can't bag the cheerleader. You grab the Explorer 2 at the authorized dealers when you don't have quite the coin for the GMT.
Well, on the new market, they're similar in price, but on the used market, you mean? You know what I think the next woof woof dog is going to be in the Rolex sports range?
No, what's that?
Da-da-da-da. Deep Sea 44 mil.
The regular black.
The regular, the non-James Cameron version. I think that is the next. I tell you what, I've been trying to sell this one for about a couple of weeks now. No fucking takers. It is hard. You know why? Because they've released the James Cameron version, and then they've gone and released a 43 mil Sea Dweller with red writing.
Right. And the Cyclops. That ugly,
Yes.
ugly, disgusting Cyclops.
Well, it's taken those punters who may buy this and they want something. See, what Rolex has discovered is if you bring out new items, you can sell more than if you keep them all the same. So
Right.
it's really fucking, it's Ponzi schemes 101. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Totally a Fonzie scheme.
Not only did Rolex lose money, they learned a very expensive experience dealing with Bernie Madoff.
I hadn't heard that one. Go ahead.
Oh, Rolex had money apparently invested with Bernie Madoff.
Nice. Well, I bet you that charity probably lost a little bit. Well, and the thing is, though, I think Rolex.
People were begging to put money in with Bernie Madoff. You know that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Bunch of celebrities, bunch of people completely lost their assets dealing with them. But the trouble is, though, I think, how do I put it? If Rolex just does it for 1 year, then that basically means they're handing over all the value to the collectors. That means, you know what I mean? That's money that they could be grabbing themselves.
I think Rolex is starting to turn into a really nasty business concern. Like,
Well, right.
they are manipulating the Daytona market. Subtle changes. They released the big Sea Dweller, and then they released the James Cameron, and then they go and release a new Sea Dweller with red writing. With red writing. So, the
Moses watch.
So what happens to the people who bought the 44 mil Deep Sea? What happens to them? They're not going to easily get their money back, are they?
Well, they're not going to get it back anyway if they bought new anyway. It's like buying a new car. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates by 20%. Now, on the other hand, the people like us who come by and scoop it off them after, for a discount, we don't do too bad. But then again, I think the people that want to line up at the AD and have the...
Mind you, people, if I keep making same mistakes like buying an IWC, I'll have a lot of really unsaleable watches.
Well,
I broke my rule. I should have bought another Rolex. You know that I was going to get a Datejust two-tone. Right. That's what I was going to do.
I don't know. I mean, I seem to remember you talking a while back that Datejust can be problematic because there's too many variations of them, which is kind of, the sports, and that's why you've always talked about the sports line, the Rolex sports line, because the sports line changes very, very, very slowly, but there's all sorts of variations. This color, that color, this font, that font, Arabic, numeral.
I think that's changed now. Rolex is on the bandwagon. They're releasing more versions than Panerai are.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. That's complete hyperbole. Panerai, God, they've got so many versions. I can't keep track of them all. Mr. Data could not keep track of all the Panerai models out there. But
Star Trek reference. Mr.
Next
Data.
Generation, right?
Yes. Wait, was he your favorite captain? Was Picard your favorite captain?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I mean, Kirk. We could sit here the all night about Kirk versus Picard.
Mm.
Also, we could kind of cue up a Weird Al Yankovic white and nerdy reference, but anyway.
So there we go, Clyde. I got to tell you, Rolex dogs. Not all of them are winners. You know the Daytonas in the 70s weren't that wanted either. Did you know that?
Right, because they couldn't even use their own movements, and they didn't make that many. Yeah, and they weren't on them.
Didn't have a date. It wasn't automatic. It was a manual wind, and they're now worth the big money.
Yeah, but on the other hand, when it comes to a watch line, that eventually the Dark Horse award has to go to the original Milgauss.
I quite like it. I don't know why you say that.
No, the original Milgausses, like 50s, 60s, 70s. Those,
yeah, that was a 1019. And did you know they even had a Milgauss with a Submariner bezel on it? Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. I did not know that.
Very fucking early. Highly valuable, very valuable fucking piece, that's for sure.
Well, and they're worth between 5 and 6 figures now. Yes.
So, Clyde, Rolex dogs. What do you see as the dogs? Tell me what the dogs are for you.
Oh, I have to admit the Sky Dweller. I just look at, okay, let's be honest. Yachtmaster. It's like the Chav. It's like the Submariner for Chavs. I mean, some people like it, and I understand, but it's not really a dress watch. It's not really a sports watch. It's
a lounge lizard watch. You know that?
Exactly.
Do you like lounge lizards? You were your lounge lizard in your thinner days?
No, I was not. I was born again nerd. And the trouble is and they all look like crap because platinum is so soft, gold is so soft. Those are probably two of the worst materials to make a bezel out of. So every time I've seen one on the used market, they look like crap. And like I said, not really a dress watch, not really a sports watch. I'm not a fan of the Sky Dweller. It's just one of those things where I think Rolex is going, I realize they can't stay stuck forever, but sometimes I think they just get a little too ahead of themselves, get a little too wild and inventive, trying to stay ahead of the power curve.
Wow. I don't know what to say, Clyde. You really hit it on the head there, haven't you?
Well, and the guy I bought my no date sub from was selling the no date sub and keeping the Yachtmaster. Like, really? Huh? It wasn't even a blue dial, for Christ's sake. Like, what the hell?
Can I show you a watch?
Go ahead.
And I want you to tell me whether you think it's a dog or not. Okay?
IWC, yes.
No. We're going better than that. I want you to tell me what you think of this, okay? This is a Patek Philippe.
Okay.
I want you to tell me what you think of this model, okay?
All right.
Okay, here we go, Clyde. I'm just bringing it up now. Da-da-da-da. The Patek Philippe Neptune. What do you think?
Is it a men's watch?
They did men's and ladies. What do you think of them?
Ugly. Completely ugly. They look like, it looks like something you'd find at a thrift store.
These were Patek Philippe. These were Patek Philippe. Okay.
Okay.
And the Neptune, particularly with the silver dial, look at this Neptune here. I don't know what to say. What do you think, Clyde? You hate it. You just hate it.
Not wild about it. It's just uninspiring. It looks, yeah. It just
not a big fan of it.
No. $14,000 Aussie. What's that, like 75 American or what?
I'll put this into US less. Changing currency. Here we go. They're starting from 4.4. You can get a Patek ladies for 4.4 for two-tone.
$10,000, no effing way.
And by the way, Clyde.
Yeah.
You know, I've got that Audemars Piguet. It's actually called a Audemars Piguet Meridian. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, I found the name of that model. It's an Audemars Piguet Meridian. Here's a couple more for sale. You could have a collection. You could corner the market of AP Meridians. What do you think of that as an idea?
No.
Ladies Quartz AP.
Jason Ong, Yachtmaster 2, P-Block Flakeification, Yachtmaster. Oh my God, Jason Ong just shamed us both. Jason Ong just shamed us both.
The Yachtmaster 2?
Yeah, no. However, Jason Ong, he brought up the obvious. My God, he shamed us. He shamed us.
What's that?
Cellini. Like, oh God, yeah.
Yeah, but the Cellini, look, I don't even, they're not waterproof, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
now I want to show you something really ugly, if you don't mind.
Sure. Oh, by the way, there's actually, on the last live stream, there's actually a lot of people showing support for your IWC and Ingenieur.
I see. Wow. Have a look at these here. We're looking at the absolute cheapest Patek Philippe's you can get.
Right.
These. Let's look at these here. This is what Patek starts at, right? The ellipse.
What
That's the
size? Ellipse. Okay.
That's the ladies' ones. Let's have a look here. There's some. I'm hoping some nasty men's quartz come out very soon. I actually had one of these ellipse. You know that I had that model.
No, it's kind of 70s-ish.
Hey, here's a ladies' Calatrava for $4,000. That's pretty cool.
I can't remember. I was talking to you about a Patek, like a 60s, a 34 mil in Dallas, and you told me to steer clear of it.
Yeah, I still stand by that.
Okay.
Stand by that. There, look at this here. This is I had a real ugly quartz one from the 70s. Just fucking ugly as sin.
What about didn't Rolex make quartz for a while? Aren't those kind of collectible or not really?
Oh, that's the Oysterquartz. The Oysterquartz. They're actually, look, the Rolex Oysterquartz is quite it's kind of specialized. They had a special type of case and bracelet.
Right.
It was an integrated bracelet. It was very
70s as well. Actually, there was one I was thinking about for like 75 or 8 down here. And I was thinking about it. I thought it was kind of cool in a retro look, but what I've heard is if it goes south, you're hosed.
Yeah. As far as fixing, yeah, look, you can easily get a repair bill for $2,000 if the circuitry goes.
Right.
I know a dealer who has had a few and he's lost money because when they fuck up, it's not like replacing a cog; it's a fucking circuit. You know what I mean? Circuits
that they probably haven't made for like 30 years.
Yeah, and well, they charge you. They sell you a replacement one, but they fucking hit you up. You know. Next dogs. What other dogs? The Cellini is the biggest dog. You are so right. Let's get back to that. That
Jason
is.
Ung, he shamed us. Jason
that is it. The biggest. Yes. How could I miss that, Clyde? Actually, that is so true.
Because it wasn't even a consideration. Because it was so horrifying.
So horrifying.
It's so
the
horrifying.
Celine. Yes, yes, yes. Clyde, we better wrap this show up. That's great having you here. We'll do another couple of shows next weekend, hey?
Awesome. Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
Happy Mother's